Just about an hour west of Detroit, the Motor City, you'll find a favorite vacation destination called the Irish Hills of Michigan. It's also the spot where one of the most competitive two-mile ovals in NASCAR history was built, called Michigan International Speedway. We welcome you back to our coverage of the Carfax 250 at Michigan. It is stop number 25 of 35 on the $50 million NASCAR Busch Series Tour. It's the 16th time the NASCAR Busch cars have run here, dating back to 1992 when Jeff Gordon sat on the pole and Todd Bodine won it. It is time to get this party started. The drivers are buckled up. Let's go down trackside for the command.
And now, race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome back your Grand Marshal from Smash Mouth, Steve Harwell.
Michigan, you ready to rock and roll? I said you ready to rock and roll? Give it to me, Blake.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Now the engines is fired for today's Carfax 250 here at Michigan International Speedway. We're about ready to roll on out.
The engines have fired, and 43 of NASCAR's finalists are set, as you heard a moment ago, to rock and roll for 250 miles, 125 laps at Michigan International Speedway. When we return, we'll visit with the driver of the Holiday Inn Chevrolet, Jeff Burton, who won the race from the pole here back in 1998. Wants to get win number 2 today. We'll chat with Burton in just a moment. This ESPN telecast of the NASCAR Busch Series at Michigan is available in high definition on ESPN HD, presented by Vizio. It is an overcast day here in Michigan, unseasonably cool for the dog days of August, just 68 degrees. It was in the 40s when we woke up this morning, so it is a perfect day for racing for the drivers and for the fans. Earlier we showed you that Carl Edwards holds a commanding lead in the drivers' point standings, but that's only half the story. The owners also battle for a series-long championship, and right now Edwards owner Roush Fenway holds a slim 41-point advantage over Richard Childress, who owns a 29 car that has been shared this year by Scott Wimmer and Jeff Burton. One has to wonder now if Jeff Burton in the 29 car today is eyeing that championship for his owner, Richard Childress. So why don't we ask him? He's our in-race reporter.
Jeff Burton, Rusty Wallace with ESPN. You got us?
I got you, man.
Jeff, everybody knows you always run good here, but I got to think one thing on your mind right now is these owners' points. You're only 41 points out for your Richard Childress team over Carl Edwards. What you thinking about it?
Well, you know, our goal at the beginning of the year with Holiday Inn Chevrolet was to win the championship. And, you know, that's what we're here to do. But what's really on our mind is winning every week. I mean, that's the thing that'll get us the most amount of points. You know, we're here to have fun, learn something for the cup race, have a good time, try to win a race.
All right, man, thanks for talking to us. We'll check in halfway through the race or something with you.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk to his crew chief, Pat Smith, will be making the call today from the pit.
Hey, Pat Smith, Andy Petrie, you got a copy?
Yeah, just a second, Andy. Let me get my pit road speed here.
Yeah, we need to let them, they're trying to talk back to each other about the pit road speed. They've got the pace car running a certain speed right here, and they're reading their RPM gauge, the tachometer, to see how many RPMs they're turning, and that's what they'll use to come down pit road later.
Pit road speed is 55 miles per hour, and the pace car runs that speed and tells all the drivers, can now look at your tachometer and see exactly where you are. That's how fast you'll have to be coming down pit road with the tach under on pit stops.
Hey guys, this is one crucial thing right now. The drivers really got to line up and hold a steady state to get that number.
We'll go with 51.
Copy that, 51.
How about it, Pat Smith? You got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you. Loud and clear, Andy.
Hey, Pat, you guys had a great car in practice yesterday, but this weather's so much different. How's that going to affect your car and your setup today?
Well, Andy, I think I'm just going to rely on you. I figure you've called a lot more races than me. You used to be a car owner, so I'm going to leave it up to you and I'll just call on you and ask when I need to come in.
Okay, we can do that. I got your channel up here now, so I can do that.
Hold on a minute now. I got something to say about this. You on?
Okay, Jeff, we'll let Pat call the race. You guys have a good race.
So much respect for these guys with former two-time NASCAR Nextel Cup crew chief Andy Petrie. Now, take a look at our starting grid, which features a pair of former NASCAR Busch Series champions here on the front row. Those of you joining us, we welcome those of you joining us who have been watching our tennis coverage. We are showing you the starting grid, the front row, a pair of NASCAR Busch Series champions, Greg Biffle, a 2002 champion, and beside him a 2003 champion, Brian Vickers. 8 high-definition onboard cameras right along with Mike Wallace and the Geico Chevy today. Sam Hornish Jr., the Mobile One Dodge. Kevin Harvick has won the last 2 in a row in the AutoZone Chevrolet. You've already heard from Jeff Burton's Holiday Inn Chevy. Tony Stewart will be in the Old Spice Chevrolet. Happy birthday, 20 years old, Stephen Wallace, the Jimmy John's Dodge today. Bobby Labonte in the Dollar General Chevrolet, and David Rudiman in the Aaron's Toyota. Those are our onboard cameras here today. Well, before we go green, let's update some stories we'll be following today from the pits. First, here's Mike Massaro.
Well, Doc, before catching the eye of Richard Childress, Clint Bowyer earned his stripes on dirt tracks throughout the Midwest. And he may need to lean on some of that experience today. Why? Because he says the groove here at Michigan moves around throughout the course of the afternoon. It goes from the high side to the middle side to the bottom, and he has to chase it throughout the day. Because of that, he equates Michigan to a dirt track. That's comforting to Bowyer, who has earned his stripes on dirt tracks throughout the United States. He starts 19th today, looking for his 3rd win of 2007. Shannon?
Well, Mike, Matt Kenseth has never won a Busch race here at Michigan, but he does have 2 Cup wins. Plus, earlier this season, he swept both races at Fontana, Michigan's sister track. Now, Roush Racing headquarters is located about an hour from here. Matt Kenseth knows what it would mean to get a win for his team owner, Jack Roush, and start this weekend off on the right foot. Jamie.
Well, Shannon, Matt Kenseth's teammate Greg Biffle would want nothing more than to turn his season around and end up in victory lane here today. And so far, so good. He's starting on the pole for the first time in 3 years. You know, he's had that string of bad luck resulting in 6 DNFs, but today he's back behind the number 16 for Roush Racing. Let's go to Dave Burns.
Jamie, earlier today, Tim Brewer showed us from the Dish Tech Center how to calculate fuel mileage. That's going to be very important today. We can't overemphasize that, especially on that first stop. Now, Jay Shue is going to weigh those cans like Tim did for Kevin Harvick today. The difference is between that first stop and the rest of the stops today, the cars right now went out for qualifying and burned off some fuel. The teams could not add fuel after qualifying. So the first one is a little more of a guess. You can't run your driver out of fuel. You have to be very accurate on that first calculation. Doc?
Thank you very much, guys. Great stories we'll be updating all afternoon here at Michigan International Speedway. 43 of NASCAR's finest Busch Series drivers, maybe the most talented field we've had since the season opener at Daytona. $1.2 million purse, 250 miles, 125 laps at one of the most competitive racetracks in all of NASCAR. A 2-mile, high-bank, D-shaped oval here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. It is a Ford and a Toyota on the front row. Biffle and Vickers, former Busch champions, as the fans are on their feet and they head down to the green flag. Of turn 2, so much room to race, so much room for these guys to get in trouble. They can go too wide in a hurry, and here comes Vickers in the Toyota.
Toyota's got a lot of power. This is no surprise that Vickers is taking lead right here at MIS today. Working the middle of the racetrack. Greg Biffle tucks in behind, guys. And take a look at Denny Hamlin, made it 3 wide, and Mark Martin now working the top side 3 wide off of turn 4.
So getting 4 wide here on the front straightaway.
Mark Martin is in the 5 car. Remember, he's driving for Rick Hendrick. Here is Sam Hornish in the Dodge for Roger Penske. Watch the move. The cars go by. Kelly Byers in the 47 up high.
This racetrack doesn't really take long for the grooves to move out. Some tracks it takes a few laps to get the groove where it'll actually widen out. You see somebody's made contact with David Rudiman in the 99. He's got a little tire rub.
And he's going to have to make a pit stop for that, guys. Too much smoke is going to blow that left front tire.
Left front tire, 25 got into it. Smoking pretty heavy.
21 car, Kevin Harvick on the inside there. has won the last 2 in a row, trying to move underneath the 20 of Denny Hamlin. They are still side by side for 3rd position.
Kevin Harvick's on a roll right now with 2 wins in a row, guys, but he gets a little loose on the bottom of the track. That thing jumped around just then. Denny Hamlin shoots around outside, takes advantage of what he just messed up on.
Even with this big, wide racetrack, it still takes a lot of the race. You can't just clear that. If you can't clear that guy, it really can mess you up. You have to have all the room to get off the corner.
Well, Andy, this racetrack is so wide and so big that drivers pick up the throttle really early, and sometimes they carry so much momentum off the corner, the cars get loose like you saw with Kevin Harvick.
Smoke still coming out of the left front of the 99. Andy, you're the crew chief here. How long can you afford to leave him out after this contact here that pushed the fender in?
I'd be a little afraid of that, especially with David Rudiman, because he is 2nd place in the points, and I wouldn't want to be giving that up. I wouldn't want to be giving up points by leaving him out there, taking a chance on this tire blowing out.
Let's take a look at this replay now. He gets up on the right rear quarter panel of the 25 car, and whoa, a big almost mishap right there. But David Rudiman gets a worse end of this one. The left front fender on top of the left front tire. Guys, I'm worried that this might cause a caution right away here. Shannon, you got more?
Yeah, David Rudiman, I spoke with him earlier this week. You know, he said that he knows that there's no way for him to catch Carl Edwards in the point standings, but he would like to chisel away at that lead. It's going to be difficult for him now. He's going to bring that car down and fix that damage done by the 25. But he did, a bright lining to his story is that he did qualify 12th for tomorrow's Cup race. Great qualifying effort by David Rudiman.
David Rudiman will start 12th in the NASCAR Nextel Cup event. Here's the 33 car. That's Tony Stewart driving the Kevin Harvick and Delana Harvick car. Didn't qualify that well, but he's coming toward the front in a hurry.
He's got a brand new body on this number 33 car. They really like what they've done in the wind tunnel, he told me. And he's really working the top side of that racetrack now. Now to the bottom in that clean air. Getting a big run on the bottom of the track.
Got a little bit of ground to make up. He's 22nd place right there. Just took 21st place from David Rudiman.
And Doc, you see the smoke on the 99 car of Rudiman starting to subside a little bit. I believe, Andy, it's because that tire's getting up in there and kind of knocking some room for itself. It's still smoking a little bit, but not as much as it was.
Here's some 3-wide racing.
24 is Casey Mears, the 41 Reed Sorensen. Last time we saw Sorensen, he was winning at Gateway in St. Louis. Hasn't raced in 4 events. Now back in that car and having a heck of a battle with Casey Mears. Just goes underneath him in the corner.
And he just said, see you later, dude, right there. He got really held up. That next corner really got bogged down, and you saw the 41 of Reed Sorensen carry that momentum down the back straightaway. And when they got into turn 3, the 24 had some momentum too, and he made it work on the bottom.
One of the cars everyone was talking about in the final practice session yesterday was the 17 car. He was the class of the field in practice. Didn't qualify that well. Actually started 12th today, but he has hustled toward the front. Currently in 4th spot. He's gained 8 positions in 6 laps.
This is a little uncharacteristic of Matt Kenseth to be charging early. Here we got Sam Hornish. Mike Wallace in the 7 drives down underneath the 22 car right here, making it 3 wide. These guys are 3 wide.
Contact up against the wall. The 42 car, Kevin Hamlin, it has some damage. There's the debris on the racetrack, and that will indeed bring out yellow for the first time today.
He's made some pretty hard contact with the right side, knocked the whole rear bumper cover off. He's got some suspension damage. Now the tire's blowing out.
Hold on, flat tire. Just let it go to the bottom there. You're good.
Okay, I think he's finished crashing now.
When you lose the right rear tire, you're still going that fast, and you're holding on to that thing, and then it finally blows. Let's take a look here. Kevin Hamlin's on top of the racetrack all by himself. Oh, car gets loose. He tries to gather it up and in the wall. And Andy, I believe that's just a case of low tire pressure and not enough grip in the tires. And unfortunately, Kevin just lost that car and got in the wall.
And then he's trying to get the car back to the pits, and you can see he's got a lot of damage. He's got a tire going down, spins the car back around here.
Starts fishtailing back and forth, and he loses control of it because the right rear tire's flat. So thank God you didn't hit the wall the second time, and that was one thing he was probably worried about. He did a good job locking it down.
This car wasn't even supposed to be here. They were going to close up after last week. They decided to run this week in Bristol and have trouble here early on. Welcome you back to Michigan International Speedway. We are under yellow for the first time today. Caution coming out on lap 7. Contact with the 42 car of Kevin Hamlin, who had contact with the wall. Now, this incident here happened on the first lap. Damage to the left front of the 99 car.
Got the left front beat down on it, and it's out of shape, and now they're trying to put Bear Bond on the left front fender. That's something they can use to reshape this fender and help hold together. Now, this caution couldn't come out at a better time for David Rudem. He was about to blow that left front tire out. Now they can get this thing fixed up.
You want to have this fender fixed because it's all about aerodynamics at these speeds here at Michigan. You got to be able to manage the air over your car to have any kind of advantage at all. Let's show you what we're talking about as we take a look at our draft tracks.
You take a look at the 29 car. He's in the draft. The dirty air. The air causes you to build momentum going into the corners. Now look, he's in this momentum. He's going to pull out. He's got clean air to the front of his car now, which gives him good downforce for optimum handling. He makes the pass, and that's the way you got to do it. Now the car in the front is breaking the air right here, and the second place car is pulling behind, taking advantage of that dirty air in that draft to gain momentum going into turn 1. Now he's going to pull out. The clean air goes in the front of his car. His car's got optimum downforce right now, and he makes the pass. That's how you use aerodynamics.
Getting set for the green flag here. Aerodynamics so critical here, being able to use the air, which you haven't been able to see.
Okay, fuel mileage is going to be a big deal here. These guys are going to try to get inside this pit window of 48 to 52 laps just because we're going to see a lot of green flag racing. Engine failures are another thing that they're going to be watching out for because this place is so hard on engines. And then green flag racing is the norm here.
You got to really manage the green flag runs right here. Long runs are important. Take a look at your tire wear, work the track. Take advantage of those long green runs.
Green flag waves once again here. We are back underway at Michigan International Speedway. Brian Vickers in the Toyota leads him down. The Ford of Greg Biffle is second. And Denny Hamlin in a Chevrolet is third.
Impressed the way that Toyota accelerated on that restart. Tells me he's got some horsepower under that hood.
You talk about momentum. Matt Kenseth just shot around outside of the 20 car. Denny Hamlin off of turn 2. He's got some momentum coming down that back straightaway, entering turn 3. He's working the bottom of the track. He's getting down to that clean air where he's got good downforce.
And the 21 car of Harvick is making a move. He is there, the 77 of Bobby Labonte. You're right along with Kevin Harvick, who has won 4 of the last 5 races he's entered. He is certainly hot in the NASCAR Busch Series.
Guys, as a driver, you really like this. You want to get this thing single file. They were double file. They were 3 wide on that first lap, and now they're breathing a little bit, thinking about their car. What's the car doing? What do I need to tell the crew chief to change on it if it's not handling right?
This is bad news for the competition when Matt Kenseth is charging to the front this early. This car looks excellent. He drives down in the corner right on the bottom of the racetrack.
For those of you on ESPN2, we will continue our coverage of the NASCAR Busch Series here at Michigan. For those of you on ESPN, we'll get you over to SportsCenter right now. 13 of 125 laps in the books here at Michigan. Overcast skies, unseasonably cool weather. And everybody's cool right now except for the 17 car of Kenseth, who is on the hunt. Here's the battle for third spot between Biffle and the Chevy of Hamlin.
Sure, I've seen a lot of loose cars out here right now. The rear ends jumping around on them. They're sliding up around. And the lead cars are the ones doing that mostly. But they're the fastest cars running right now. We just saw Matt Kenseth working the bottom of the track. And Andy, you know, the bottom of the track's about 2 degrees less banking than the second groove. So really the fast groove around this place is 1 lane up. But if you got a car that's handling good, you're going to use that bottom lane even though it's flatter.
And Matt Kenseth has a great handling car. You saw him how he actually beat Brian Vickers through the corner, but he just couldn't quite didn't have the momentum to use to get up the side of him. And we really see these guys use the draft right here. On the straightaways, these guys will try to tuck right up in behind and line themselves up right behind that car in front of them.
Shannon, you got more on the 17?
Well, that's right. I spoke with crew chief Drew Blickensturfer at the start of this weekend, and he said the car was good and fast off the truck. They really would have liked to have qualified better, but they are happy with the car. Drew also said that if you come to the racetrack, you have to expect to win with Matt every weekend. If not, you are underestimating yourself. And if he doesn't win, then you need to look at your equipment and you need to make it faster for him.
Here with the high backside of this racetrack, guys, really coming in. A lot of momentum up in the top side of the track. And one reason you want to use that is these Busch Grand National engines don't have a lot of horsepower. Not near as much as the NASCAR Nextel Cup cars. And if they can get that car a big run off the corners, it really creates a lot of straightaway speed.
Here is the move now by Kenseth, lap 15, to try to go underneath the Toyota of Brian Vickers for the lead.
Looks like Matt's going to get him right here going into turn 1. I don't think Brian Vickers is going to push the issue right here.
Now, Matt just got a good car now, guys. It's handling well. That Toyota's got a lot of power. And you see him working outside the racetrack. Brian Vickers getting some more grip up there. And that momentum's going to let him suck right up on the rear bumper and make him loose at the same point.
Yeah, he just about got right into the bumper there. See a little wiggle from 17.
Hamlin now trying to go back by the 16 of Biffle for third position.
Right there about the point of the race now, 16, 17 laps into this race, where the handling really starts changing on the cars. The drivers can start reporting back to their teams. Hey, the car's pushing up front end, or it's loose, or making suggestions what to do to the car to get the thing back in the game here.
Denny Hamlin in that 20 car, he smacked the wall in practice, and the guys had to kind of pound it out. Looks like they got it fixed pretty good.
One of the drivers we're keeping an eye on here is the driver of the 88 car, the Navy Chevrolet, the car owned by Dale Earnhardt Jr. That is Brad Keselowski, who is from Rochester Hills, Michigan. It's sort of a family tradition to come here and race at MIS, and this young man needs to have a good finish here today.
Well, he's got to deal with Dale Earnhardt Jr. right now to get him through the Bristol race, and Brad wants to keep proving that he can do it. They're almost 4 wide. They stagger themselves. But Brad is working aerodynamics pretty good himself right now. He's in a draft with Reed Sorensen coming down in front straight, but he knows he needs to bring this thing back home without a scratch on it and a good run. Mike, you got more?
Well, yeah, you guys, you mentioned it. He grew up about 90 miles away in Rochester Hills, Michigan, so this is a big event for Brad Keselowski and the entire Keselowski team. He's one of 3 generations of Keselowskis who have raced here. His dad, his uncle, and his grandfather have all been inducted into the Michigan Motorsports Hall of Fame. But this is a big opportunity for Brad, because this is a car that he feels is the best opportunity he's ever been given in NASCAR. He says with the opportunity with Junior Motorsports, his confidence in his equipment is much higher and has much better security knowing he'll make the race. But at the same time, he says he's more uptight. Why? Because the expectations are much higher, knowing he wants to make the most of this opportunity.
Mike, exactly. This is the car that they have their best finish of the year thus far in it. Shane Huffman finished 6th at Kentucky in this car. They brought the best ride they got to give this young man a chance to get another top 10 finish in only his 4th start in this 88 car.
It's a trial by fire because he is in a dogfight right here with Carl Edwards, all these Cup guys, Carl Edwards, Reed Sorensen, and Ward Burton. So far, he's taking it to him.
Hey, what the 60 car, Carl Edwards, he is just not, that car's not running to his liking, that's for sure. This is a brand new car that Carl's got. He's really struggling with it. Take a look at Denny Hamlin there working the bottom side of Greg Biffle. Denny's car was really good in practice, and Jerry got in the wall a little bit, flat side of that thing, but the guys fixed it.
Pancaked it early yesterday afternoon in one of the practices and got it. Whoa, the contact there between Biffle, about to get it in the wall again. These two guys get. Here comes Hamlin up to say, hey, not happy at all with this little nudge there. And folks, that's at about 187 miles an hour.
You know, Jerry, you go into turn 3 here at Michigan, bumper to bumper with the guy. You start losing some downforce, and you really try to tuck that nose underneath him a little bit. And you saw Hamlin doing that. Let's watch that one more time. This guy made this move. Well, he gets tapped in the back right there, gets a little sideways.
Yeah, that's not a fender bender in the Walmart parking lot. That's at 187 miles an hour on a very difficult racetrack.
Well, they were both starting to run out of real estate right there, and you can see the grade came down a little bit. The 20 car of Hamlin, he was like running out of room too.
Great action for 3rd position in the early laps. And the Ford of Kenseth has gone downstairs on the inside of the track, hugging that bottom groove. He makes the pass and is our leader here over the Toyota of Brian Vickers. Kenseth the leader here. 21 of 125 laps are complete. Back at Michigan Speedway here under caution for the 2nd time today, coming out of lap 24 just a moment ago, and our points leader involved, the 60 car.
He slides up right in front of Reed Sorensen in the 41 and gets a tap from behind.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure Reed Soren could have done anything about that. The 60 car, Carl Edwards, is going backwards. The car has not been handling well at all. He's even had problems in practice with it. Now pit road, he was not happy.
Now we see him waving over here at these guys. These are the 41 crew members he's waving at back there on when he came down pit road. He didn't look like he was real happy.
It wasn't one of those hi, how are you waves either. They're on pit road 55 miles an hour. Shannon.
Ryan Vicker pulled his Toyota into his pit stall. He says that while he was trying to get around Matt Kenseth, the car got a little tight, but he doesn't need much. It's pretty good. They're going to do a little bit of a track bar adjustment and 4 tires. We're going to send it down to Dave.
Shannon, time to adjust for Kevin Harvick's crew. Air pressure increased in the left rear. This car was way too loose to pass the competition. Jamie.
And we saw that incident happen with the 60 of Carl Edwards. Now his team just told him he pitted too early. He has to get at the tail end of the longest line. They did make some adjustments, obviously 4 tires because he flat spotted all 4, and he got 2 rounds on that track bar. He had a flat left front. Carl Edwards will restart the end of the longest line, guys.
Race off of pit road. Denny Hamlin gained a couple of spots. Mark Martin up 4 positions. You see Vickers, the adjustments there, down 4 in the 10 car. His first ride of the year in that car, number 10. And Casey Kane up 20 positions. Andy.
Yeah, Casey Kane pitted under that first caution we had, got 4 tires, and I guess what he did here is probably just get a little gas and get back out in front of these guys to get track position.
Race off of pit road. Watching the 20 car, Denny Hamlin come off. Here comes Biffle in the 16 by. Harvick going by. There comes Vickers. You saw where he lost a couple of spots. Now our crew cam, the front tire carrier, Jeffrey Roth out of Washington, Georgia. He's carrying that front tire for Tony Stewart on the 33 car, trying to get the pit stop done on the brand new Chevy Monte Carlo for Stewart. Stewart on and off pit road, 4 tires, back with a green flag in just a moment. Back to green flag action here at Michigan, and smoke off of the front fender of the 77 car.
Yeah, Todd Bodine and Bobby Labonte were racing real hard off turn forward and had a little bit of contact when they ran out of room out there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with these left front fenders. David Ruderman, now Bobby Labonte's got the same problem David's had. If that tire keeps burning like that, it's going to blow that tire out, so they got to watch that themselves.
Denny Hamlin, the 20 car, is the leader. The 16 of Biffle is second. Good side-by-side battle brewing for 3rd spot. Here comes that Toyota again. That 10 car is very strong.
That's one of the strongest runs I've seen out of the car all year long. You know, they did win not too long ago over in St. Louis. Had a great run there in that number. In that car was that IRP, I believe it was. Indianapolis
Leffler won in the Toyota at ORP, but they have not won on a super speedway yet. This could be their day.
It's a great race for the lead with Denny Hamlin and Greg Biffle.
Okay, the bottom of the racetrack here, guys, is not the preferred line, but if you can get enough grip down there, make the pass you can. Just it's flatter down there at the bottom of the track, and a lot of drivers don't use it that much.
It's hard to believe that that extra 10 feet of room that you need off the corner makes that much difference, but you have to have that extra room to get by them.
Rusty, we saw the 20 car pull right up to the rear quarter panel of 16 and then come all the way down across the track. What's he trying to do?
Well, Jerry's got momentum going for his side right now. He pulled right up behind him, then ducked down to not stop the momentum. He was really rolling, so he wanted to go ahead and make the pass while he could make the pass. And if you can do that off down the front straightaway here, you better take it when you can get it.
Here's Matt Kenseth and Brian Vickers joining the party. Whoa, look at Biffle get loose getting in the corner.
Biffle's been loose all day long, and right there he had that rear end kicked out. You know, it's just, these next pit stops, you know, these guys are going to start tightening these things up more and more. If it didn't work this time, they've had one stop now to try to get it right. But Biffle, he might have loosened his car up on that stop too much.
It's really amazing how these cars will run single file and line up down the straightaway to get in the corner and all just fan out, just trying to find a place on the racetrack to pass.
Like a fighter squadron, and a couple of them peel off. We saw the 2 Fords peel off a moment ago, and Biffle's car got loose when the 17 was behind him. Now the 17 car gets a bit of a push from the 10. And the 33 car of Tony Stewart, who had just dodged a bullet a moment ago in that pit stop with a vibration in the right front, now spins it around and brings out caution for the 3rd time today.
Looks like he may have dodged another bullet. You spin a car here at 200 miles an hour and don't tear it up. Doesn't look like he's got any damage.
See damage all over the nose of his car, Randy. Looks like he might have got in the back of somebody.
Come now, guys, we got to put right sides on it. Just put right sides on it, get us back out. We'll come back out.
Tony Stewart spinning here on lap 33 to bring out caution for the third time today at Michigan.
He just basically loses it up there in that upper groove. I don't know if he got into maybe some loose stuff up there. Boy, he's really lucky that 12-car Sam Hornish didn't make contact.
Yeah, it's pretty unusual for a driver like Tony Stewart, as good as he is, to get that car out from underneath him off at 2, because it's a corner where generally you don't get loose. Let's follow him along here. He's in the throttle, just breaks away. Now he stays in the throttle, locks it down so the car doesn't slide back up across the track, and that's what you got to do.
Good job. Now earlier, here's what happened to the 77 car of Bobby Labonte on the restart coming out of turn 4.
Top Bodine in the 0-3 just ran him out of room coming off turn 4.
The 77 car becomes the Aaron's Lucky Dog Free Pass Award winner. He was the first driver a lap down, now gets to go back on the lead lap. So the former NASCAR Busch Series and Nextel Cup champion Bobby Labonte getting back on the lead lap. The 10 car on pit road. We are being told they did not get this car completely full of fuel, so now they got to take a chance to come back in and top it off.
So they must have had some kind of problem getting it fueled. Maybe they didn't get the vent can plugged in good enough so they could get fuel to go in the car. It looks like they've put quite a bit of fuel in it, though, like they didn't get any in it on the last stop.
The driver of this car became the youngest NASCAR Busch Series champion back in 2003. Let's meet Brian Vickers.
I am Brian Vickers. I started learning how to kayak last year. A friend of mine, he'd been a kayaker most of his life. He got me in the kayak and started trying it, and I loved it. I'm going to learn how to do it from a pro with Tal Berman. He's one of the best in the world. From the little bit of kayaking I've done, you can't just look right off the end of the kayak. You get yourself in trouble. Any good athlete, he always looks ahead to where he wants to be.
Nice job. Nice job. Great teacher. That was our first trip all the way down. That was awesome.
It's two very distinct sports, but in both of them, you've got to see what's coming next and try to predict where you need to be.
Perfect timing. We welcome you back to Michigan International Speedway. The green flag getting ready to wave again after caution number 3 for the spin of Tony Stewart, who has been on and off pit road. We'll update his repairs in a moment. And Matt Kenseth will lead them down along with Denny Hamlin, Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick, and Mark Martin now in the top 5.
Big good opportunity to see how good a car Carl Edwards has inside of his teammate Matt Kenseth right here. Trying to get that lap back that he lost when he spun the car.
The car has not been good for Carl. He really complained about it in practice. He's been going backwards, and now you see, just can't seem to hold that car in the front to get that lap back. But once the tire pressure comes up in his car, see if we can hear some more comments with him later on, what he's got to say. But he wasn't happy with that car at all, guys.
We commented a moment ago that the 5 car of Mark Martin is on the move. A driver who has had so much success at Michigan International Speedway. Mark Martin driving the Rick Hendrick car number 5 that he finished second in at Darlington back in May.
Mark Martin's done his job on the racetrack, and his pit crew gained him about 4 or 5 spots in the pit, so it's really helping him move up. You see how he will take a little bit of a tail wiggle off turn 2.
The car, we got to take a look. It's a 10 car. He had a fuel problem. He's making himself back from the back of the pack all the way up to the front, and he is screaming right now. Some of the fastest laps of the day are being laid down by Brian Vickers in his Toyota right now, guys.
24 car, Casey Mears trying to get underneath David Strimmy. That is for position. Mears are now being shown in 12th position. There's the 9 car left side of your screen. That's Casey Kane also battling for a top 10 spot.
Now, guys, this is classic Michigan International Speedway right now. They're working 3 wide off of turn 4 down the back straightaway because there's so much room with this track. You can move all over it and find a lot of real estate to use. 3 wide into turn 1 right now.
One car, J.J. Yaley, trying to get underneath the rookie Brad Coleman, right up in front of Coleman, and David Rudiman has to go downstairs to keep him running into the back of Coleman. Here comes Rudiman now on the inside with that damaged Toyota.
Rudiman's complaining about his left front fender not being fixed right yet, still losing the front end of the car. A big push he keeps telling us about. And they're going to continue working on that throughout the day to try to get the downforce back, because you've got to have downforce here at Michigan if you're going to pass somebody.
Brad Coleman, this 18 car has been so impressive the last couple of weeks. Back-to-back top 10s at Montreal and Watkins Glen on the road courses. But also, this is the same car that he had that great second-place finish with at Kentucky.
And I'm going to try not to jinx him, but he keeps that car clean. That's one thing I've been impressed with this young guy. He comes in here as a rookie, and he keeps the car clean. And I don't know how he does it, but he's done a great job of that.
Now, if he hits something, he's going to come looking for you.
That's what I said. I don't want to jinx him, so hopefully he'll keep it clean today.
These drivers are carrying down into turn 1, guys. They're running close to 200 miles an hour here at Michigan. And as you come off of turn 4 here at MIS, you get so much rhythm. You get so much momentum. I mean, its cars fly down the front straightaway, and that's where the guys like making the passes. And off this turn 4, it really opens up real big. You pick the throttle up early and really just carry that momentum. And boy, by the time you get to that start-finish line, that's when you see a lot of the guys duck down and make their passes.
Very wide racetrack. Lots of room to race, but drivers also say it's lots of room to get in trouble here at Michigan.
Well, you get aero loose, Jerry. You fly in alongside of a guy underneath of him, and you try to make that pass, the last pass, getting into 1 or getting into turn 3. And if you get too close to him, you're going to get aerodynamically loose. The car in the bottom will get loose and slide up. And I'll tell you, you've got to hold on to that car, because that's one bad feeling when you get aerodynamically loose getting at the corner.
Now, you see these guys racing hard. They're racing right in front of Jeff Burton in the 29 car. Been surprised that he hadn't been able to move up more than he has. He was one of the best cars in practice. But these cars practiced with sun on the racetrack. It was fairly hot when they did that, and they had a really good setup for that. So I think they may have to adjust on this thing. You look at this. You look at his tack right here. You just see how these RPMs hang up there. Doesn't even go to 7,000. It comes all the way back up to 9,000. They never drop, like you say, drop down and give this engine any rest.
Imagine if you're a distance runner, but you're never allowed to take a deep breath. These engines cannot breathe at all. They're just constantly wide open. Jamie.
You guys were talking about Jeff Burton, the only driver in the field who's won from the pole here in Michigan. And the only thing he said over the radio today, guys, is that he just needs to turn better. He needs more front grip, and that, of course, comes with the changing weather conditions. But right now, if the field were to freeze right now and the race would end, you can imagine how this is going to mix up that championship points lead for Jeff Burton and his team. Perhaps there would be a switch in that owner points, guys.
Jeff Burton trying to make his way up and still sort of stalled back there just inside the top 10, being shown in the 8th position.
You know, we talked last week how these guys seem to get themselves together. Look at this. Look at the 60 car a little while ago, and the 29 of Burton racing for those points. But the lead, Denny Hamlin working that inside again. Guys, you can't get these fellows apart. They've been stuck together the entire race.
Yeah, they're having fun. They got a good race going right here, and both those cars are handling well. Looks like Matt's now moved up to the top side of the racetrack. He was on the bottom earlier. Looks like Denny Hamlin's car's handling good down there. Gets him cleared. It's Matt cleared right here.
The 5 car of Mark Martin trying to make a move on the 88 of Brad Keselowski. This is a battle for 6th position.
Looks like I think this 88 car is going forward right now. Brad Keselowski's done a great job in this 88. He's driving like he's driving for a job, and I think he is.
More on Mark Martin. Let's check in with Dave.
You guys mentioned that first race for Hendrick Motorsports back at Darlington Raceway. I was talking with car chief Mike Bumgarner this morning about that race. He said that was so important for us and Mark. Remember Mark's post-race comments? Man, if we just had a little more time together as a team, we might have been able to beat Kevin Harvick that day. Well, this weekend, as he makes his second start for Rick Hendrick, he does have the time. That Darlington race told them a lot on the crew about what Mark Martin wants in a race car. They were able to build that into the car before they got here to the race, and practice has been much smoother for Martin and this Hendrick Motorsports team.
Rick Hendrick, the owner there, Dave. Thank you very much. See Rick Hendrick, the owner. Now, he is going to send this car over to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s shop for the entire 2008 season, where Mark Martin will drive it. So will Casey Mears. So will Dale Earnhardt Jr. And so will Jimmy Johnson and the youngster Landon Castle. The 5 guys that will share this 5 car in 2008, but it'll be run out of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s race shop in Mooresville, North Carolina.
Well, how'd you like to be the crew chief crew in that car with all these different drivers? Talk about having a problem, building rhythm with those drivers. A lot of the crew chiefs always talk about building rhythm. That 10 car, man, this guy is still flying. He has not slowed down at all. He's come from dead last all the way up the front. Now he's working the rear bumper of Clint Boyer.
This is a pass for 13th position, and he started back in about 38th spot on the restart.
We showed you up close and personal, Brian Vickers, how well he can paddle upstream. Well, he's having to paddle upstream right now after that unscheduled stop to get it full of fuel. Making his way back from 33rd. And, of course, Vickers now being shown in the top 15. 47 of 125 laps are in the books here at Michigan International Speedway. Denny Hamlin, the guy they're chasing. The sights and sounds of NASCAR's Busch Series here at Michigan International Speedway early on. We are 52 laps in, just shy of the halfway point here in the Carfax 250. Denny Hamlin is the leader. Had a spirited battle between Hamlin and Matt Kenseth up front. Greg Biffle has been there, Kevin Harvick, and now Paul Menard in the 5th spot has gone by the 5 car of Mark Martin. Here's the Jimmy John's Dodge for the 66 car. The birthday boy, Stephen Wallace, who turned 20 years of age here today. 77 car, Bobby Labonte, injured the nose of that car, the front fender, on a restart about 11 laps ago. Has gotten the car back on the lead lap by virtue of being our lucky dog. Now being shown in 28th position, trying to make his way back toward the front.
The 99 car, Rudeman, coming back to the front after the problem with the left front fender in lap 1. He's currently 18th right now, making his way back there front.
You see J.J. Yaley's car wiggling, getting in the corner. Here's Mike Wallace in the 7 car. He's 26th place. He's actually moved back a little bit from the start, from his 23rd starting spot.
Sam Hornish Jr., who finished 9th here in the IRL event after being involved in a spectacular crash involving Dario Franchitti just a couple of weeks ago. Started 21st, being shown in 25th. Driving the Mobil 1 Dodge, and the 21 car, the AutoZone Chevrolet. Reigning series champion Kevin Harvick, who has been on a roll of late with back-to-back wins at Montreal and Watkins Glen. He is in the top 5 at 4th position.
Now the 29 car, Jeff Burton, he's had a good car throughout the day. He's currently running 7th. These guys just logging laps right now. The race is stretched out just a little bit, and he's a guy's going for this owner's championship points over Carl Edwards. They got a big battle going on right now. He's currently 7th and likes the way his car's running.
The 33, the Old Spice Chevrolet, owned by Delana Harvick, driven by Tony Stewart. Tony spun that car on lap 32 to bring out the 3rd caution flag of the day. He brought the car on the pit road. He just dodged a bullet, by the way, because he had some loose lug nuts. Whoa, he just gets underneath the Stephen Wallace car.
Hey, Tony's got a lot of momentum on that pass right there. Let's take a look at these repairs he made on this last pit stop, guys. Little bare bond on the front end, tore up the nose on the car. It wasn't that accident when it happened. It wasn't an earlier event he had, but aerodynamically, you need to seal up that front hood down to the front nose so air doesn't get underneath it. You got to have downforce here, guys.
Yeah, Mike Massaro had told us that they had dodged the bullet with some loose lug nuts on their first pit stop, so they were able to come in and dodge that one, but then they couldn't get away from the spin. Back up front, these guys continue to run different lines around this racetrack, but almost side by side.
The last time we saw this battle was Matt Kenseth in the high side and Denny Hamlin on the low side.
You know, watch these guys. Well, watch these guys lap after lap, Andy. And just one's on the bottom, one's on the top. They just keep swapping the bottom lane versus the top. And it's been going on now forever. I don't know when these guys are finally going to give up and get in line.
It doesn't seem to be hurting them any. Nobody behind them is able to catch them while they're doing this. So evidently their cars are handling well enough that this racing side by side is not slowing them up.
Great action here of the battle for the lead, courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for the past 25 years. Our aerial coverage from the Goodyear blimp. Matt Kenseth awfully strong early on. For more on him, let's check in with Shannon.
Well, your race leader right now, Matt Kenseth, is one of those drivers competing in the Cup
These guys are still not giving up in the bottom lane and the top lane. You see Denny Hamlin working the top. Man, he better be careful, because yesterday he did that same trick and knocked the right side clear off that 20 car going into turn 1 in practice. And thank gosh they were able to fix it and get back in the racetrack.
He was flirting with disaster right there. Looked like he got up there, and if he didn't touch it, he wasn't far from it.
Well, right here at Michigan International Speedway, it's one of the tracks you really want to carry a high lane getting in to turn 1 and into turn 3. The higher you keep the car on the track, the more momentum you're going to have through the corners.
David Strimmy and Todd Bodine racing by Jamie McMurray now in the 26 car.
Saw the 03 car of Todd Bodine get alongside of Bobby Labonte earlier. Todd's had a fast car throughout the day. That's another Toyotas, and those Toyotas are making about 15 more horsepower than these Chevrolets are making right now in the Fords. A lot of these other guys complaining about how much power that car's got.
This battle is for 11th, 12th, and 13th with Todd Bodine in 11th spot. Dave.
And we'll see if that Toyota motor holds together today for Todd Bodine. He complained about a vibration very early in this race. He said, I know it's in the drivetrain. It's a harmonic thing. I can hear it. I can feel it. And so they're just hoping it lasts the day. But when it's running well.
A vibration at this track would kind of concern me, because they usually don't go away. The vibration just kind of hangs in there, and could be something that he might be concerned about later in the race.
Closing in on the halfway mark here at Michigan International Speedway. Matt Kenseth in the 17 car. He qualified 12th, but it took him 6 laps to get to the lead, and he has hung there the last 15 laps.
This ESPN telecast of the NASCAR Busch Series is available in high definition on ESPN 2 HD, presented by Vizio. Just across the midway point of today's Carfax 250 for the NASCAR Busch Series at the Michigan International Speedway. A halting start, 3 cautions in the first 32 laps, but none since. And taking on a look of a classic Michigan race, Brad, where fuel mileage comes into play.
Absolutely, Alan. There's racing all over the racetrack. Long green flag run. They're going to have pit stops coming up pretty soon. But like you say, there's going to be that splash of gas that's going to be needed at the end of this race. It's going to be interesting to watch these strategies play out.
If the race stays green, and it's looking like it might for a little while here, we'll see the cars on pit road shortly, which will set us up for perhaps a little splash and dash or a little strategy game toward the end of this race. 59 laps to go. Still a pretty good fight for the lead in traffic between Kenseth in the 17 and Hamlin in the 20.
Thanks, guys. Just past the halfway point here in the action. Now they're beginning to work a little lap traffic there. Kenseth the leader, Hamlin in second, Greg Biffle is third, Kevin Harvick is fourth, and how about a call to the 15 car of Paul Menard?
Paul hadn't made but just a few starts this season, and he's just every one of them he's been very strong. He was strong last week, finishing in the top 5 at Watkins Glen, running in the top 5 here today. I think this is, this is probably going to help him in his cup effort a little bit to get out here and get some laps on Saturday.
Back up front, Kenseth and Hamlin, they swap spots again, Rusty.
Now it's back and forth all day long, Jerry. We just can't keep talking about it a bunch. Just about the time we go back in the pack, they pass each other again. But they've two superior cars here, guys. The lap times I've been watching lap after lap. In fact, the last time they're identical, their lap times. And you see Kenseth's work that bottom lane, the same lane Hamlin's been working also.
It's kind of funny that what I've seen here is the guy that gets out front doesn't seem to be able to get away. It's almost like the opposite of what we talk about a lot with this clean air. When the guy can get out in front, it seems like the guy gets out front, the guy behind can just line up here and make better lap times until he gets the lead. And then you see it just kind of swap back and forth.
Well, the draft track shows you at a wide racetrack like this at Michigan, there are different ways to utilize the air and be able to make the pass.
You see the 5-car Mark Martin, you can use that dirty air to draft up alongside him. Now he's got that momentum, and he ducks down out of the air and gets in that clean air, which gives you downforce, makes you handle good. And now he's going to work it up to the top of the racetrack, and that was a good pass there. Take a look at the high side now. Brian Vickers, he just say, I didn't like that yellow air. I'm going to move up into clean air, which is the clean air, gives you good downforce. He made that pass on Matt Kenseth on the outside. Now he's coming to the front. Now the low side, you're in the draft right here. You're getting dirty air. You're trying to get that nose out of it. Now you got the clean air again, which gives you the downforce, makes the car handle real good, and he drives off.
How much can a driver feel when you get the draft? Can you actually feel the car pick up, and do you hear the engine change?
Well, you really feel the engine change a lot, Jerry, especially in the front straightaway here at Michigan. When you come off a turn 4 and you get in that draft, about the start-finish line, that RPM gains a couple hundred RPMs. You can really feel that thing take off, and that's all because of the draft. About right here, coming off of turn 4, let's watch the RPM gauge here now. They're about approaching 8,000, 180 miles an hour. In this area, if there was a car in front of them, that's where you would really feel the draft.
Stephen Wallace, who had the win here 2 years ago in the ARCA car, one day after his 18th birthday, becoming the youngest driver ever to win in a stock car, a major stock car on this racetrack, now driving full-time in the NASCAR Busch Series. The 10 car. What a run Brian Vickers has had in the 10 car. Now, the concern they had a little bit ago, if you just joined our coverage, they had to come back in for a splash of fuel, and he came back out in 34th position. He has gained 25 spots in the last 12 laps. And Vickers, the reason he had to come in is because they had trouble getting fuel in the car. With more on what the problems may have been, let's go down to our ESPN Dish Tech Center and Tim Brewer.
Thanks, Jerry. The first thing the guy has to do back here in the back of the car with the catch can is he has to insert the can in, and as you can see right here on our cutaway illustration, it opens up the flapper valve here, which enables the air to come out as the guy's putting fuel in the car. Now, if he didn't have that probe adjusted properly, that means that the flapper valve was partially closed. He didn't get the car full of fuel.
Thanks, Tim. If you don't get the air out, you can't get the gas in. It's just that simple. For more information on catch cans, log on to ESPN.com. Search word know-how.
And I can't tell you how many times guys that come down pit road and try to fuel them up, and the guy stands there and he pulls it out, the tank's still full. A lot of times that hose in the back gets tangled up, or the flapper valve gets stuck like Tim just showed us. But that is one miserable feeling. As a driver, you hear the guy call you up and go, hey, this thing's doesn't have gas in it. You got to come back in.
Yeah, but here he is in 9th spot. He's already driven the car back into the top 10, and he's got about 10 laps more on fuel now. He pitted and got some fuel in it. These guys start making green flag stops. He's going to be able to stay out there a few extra laps.
We are just a handful of laps away from what could be the final pit stop of the day. They're going to come in and top them off. You got to get them full of fuel. Remember, this track historically is all about fuel mileage. We'll cover it when we come back. Back in Michigan, leaders just coming on the pit road. Shannon.
Well, Matt Kenseth says his car's a little tight, asking Drew Blickensterfer to free it up a little bit. Says if they do, he's got something for Denny Hamlin. Oh, guys, this is their last stop. Jamie.
And Denny Hamlin's in his pit box. He just needs an air pressure adjustment. Happy with that car. I think the car has gotten faster since that contact with the 16 earlier in the race. Been dicing back and forth with Matt Kenseth. They put on the 4 tires, and it's a good stop for Denny Hamlin. Dave?
There's the 5 car of Mark Martin. He is on and off pit road now. Mark had air pressure adjustment requested for the car. It had gotten loose at the beginning of that run. It stayed loose. They needed to just change that air pressure a little bit. Mike?
Clint Boyer on pit road now. He was a little bit tight across the center and off. 4 tire change for Clint Boyer. He's away.
And Jeff Burton makes his way down pit road in the 29. Hasn't said a whole lot today. He just needed to turn better. He needed more front grip, and it continues to cool down here. No request from the driver, our in-race reporter. Put the right sides on over to the left sides for Jeff Burton. Guys, and it's a clean stop. They're going to top it off and hope to make it to the end, and he's out.
A major chassis adjustment on the 29 car, Andy, for Burton.
Yeah, we saw these guys changing the chassis. Dave?
This chassis hasn't been changed all day. Jamie McMurray's car has run beautifully. He started at the back of the pack because he had a brake line loose at the start. They had to adjust it and go to the rear. The 03 of Todd Bodine is also in right now. They'll make their final pit stop as well. Bodine coming to his pit stall. They'll change 4 tires for Todd. No complaint recently about that motor issue for Todd, but he hasn't complained too much about the car either, so it's been running fairly well for him, handling well as the motor running solid. Shannon?
Well, Reed Sorensen made contact with the 60, had some front end damage at the beginning of this race. He's saying that he likes the high line, and the car is not good at all. It's terrible. They're going to go to work on that 41 car. 2003 Series champion Brian Vickers pulls his car down, recovered from that bad pit stop where they had a problem with the fuel tank. Right now they're going to go to work on that car. Brian Vickers is saying the car is tight and centered. He did stay out to lead a lap, guys. They're going to go 4 tires and fuel.
All right, wait on the fuel, wait on the fuel. It's going in, just wait on it.
Still having issues with the fueling.
All clear all the way, clear all the way. Good stop, guys.
They have some kind of problem in that system there that's not letting that fuel get in there quick enough. We saw that 16.5 stop. They were actually waiting on the fuel.
You never wait on fuel. When he said wait on a fuel, that was a direct giveaway. They've definitely got a problem they got addressed when this race is over. I bet these guys are dying to see what the problem is right now.
The thing is, if they've got it full of fuel right now, it's not going to be that big a deal. They lost some spots in there, maybe lost a little bit of time. But if that thing's not full of fuel, this will cost them because we have to run almost a full fuel load at the end of the race.
6 car, David Reagan being shown as our leader. Roush Fenway car coming on the pit road, leading in the Robestas Rookie of the Year point standings, trying to get another top 5 here. His first time this year in the full-time NASCAR Busch Series ride, making what should be his final pit stop.
You see the guy's just changing 4 tires. The guy pulls a little windshield tear off the front, gives him a little better vision there. Guys move around, looks like a clean stop. You can see these fuel guys should be done just about the time they're finished right here. And you see they are finished. And they're waiting on, they have a little problem with the left front.
Okay, let's go, 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 go. Probably out 48.50.
Matt Kenseth has been one of the leaders throughout much of the afternoon. He and Denny Hamlin have been battling. Now watch as Kenseth here comes down on the pit road.
These guys still racing for the lead, trying to get to the line here before they have to get down to pit road speed.
That's 55 miles an hour right at the line. He's on pit road first. Now watch him as the crew's now going to have to get these guys on and off in a hurry.
Looks like Matt's done his job getting in the pits. It looks like they have just a little bit of an issue here with this right front. He got a lug nut that he's got to put back on here that fell off. He came back around here. Looks like it's clean from here, but that cost him a few seconds.
And what does a couple of seconds do when you have to put a lug nut back on? It can cost you the lead coming off of pit road, and indeed the 20 car was able to get back out in front of Matt Kenseth. Shannon in the 90 pit.
And Stephen Light driving the same car he drove to victory lane in Kentucky, struggling a little bit today, qualified 37. He calls this car the Rocket. It has never finished worse than 10th. Right now, it's loose all over.
With those cycling of pit stops taking place, that puts the Bobby Labonte car, the 77 car owned by Kevin Harvick, as the leader. Bobby, who was involved in a shunt on the restart about lap 35, lost a lap, had to come back on the pit road, and now has been the lucky dog back on the lead lap and is being shown as our leader. Dave Burns.
And as we watch David Reagan unlap himself from Labonte, just a couple of cars back, it's a 21 of Kevin Harvick. He came down pit road for 4 tires, but he also wanted an adjustment to his race car all the way around. Increased the air pressure. During that last run, Kevin's car was so loose at the beginning of the run he could hardly drive it. It took 30 laps till Kevin commented on the radio that the car had come in. That was too many in his opinion. He needs to be able to race earlier than that, so they increased the air pressure all the way around to try to help Harvick chase down the 20 and the 17 earlier in the run.
A lot of times you try to lower that air pressure so you are better in the longer runs and at the end of these runs, but if it takes 30 laps or so to get that, you do want to start that pressure a little higher.
Mike Massaro, what's happening in the Bobby Labonte pits?
Well, about 2 laps ago, Doc, the 77 team was up on the wall, all set for Bobby Labonte to come down pit road, and then it started to sprinkle very lightly. Because of that, they altered their plans, decided to stay out on the racetrack, but the rain has gone away, and they've altered their plans yet again. They're headed down pit road to make their stop, but their plan was to try to stay out there and hope for rain.
That's just like that Wally Rogers try to steal one on us, isn't it?
Hey, you never did that. Watch Bobby Labonte's pit stop here. The crew's already had to repair the fender, which was not his own fault. He got squeezed into the wall on a restart. Got back on the lead lap, and the former winner here and former Busch Series champion making his final stop.
Take a look at the leader right here at Denny Hamlin, where he is on the racetrack, guys. He's coming down the front straightaway. And look back to Matt Kenseth. The distance they lost in that pit stop is the distance they're apart on the racetrack right now. But one thing I do like, the right front tire changer, a smart guy. He went ahead and put that lug nut on it, got it on there, because if he wouldn't have put that lug nut back on, they'd be back on pit road fixing this problem right now. So you got to hand it to that right front tire changer for stepping up and fixing it.
The difference was 2.5 seconds on pit road. That's a differential upstairs right now. Jeffrey Roth, the front tire carrier, getting it done for the 33 of Tony Stewart on that pit stop just a moment ago.
Four laps to go in the Carfax 250 for the NASCAR Busch Series at the Michigan International Speedway. Denny Hamlin got the lead on a set of pit stops moments ago for Matt Kenseth. He holds a 2-second advantage into these final laps. There is Hamlin, and there is Matt Kenseth. Story of the day, championship leader Carl Edwards came into the day off 2 straight 30th place finishes, and back on lap 24 had a little tangle on the racetrack.
Yeah, and it looks like he is in a lot of trouble right now. He spun the car early. If he could have gotten back and gotten his lap back before we had any other problems, or before we had so many laps dissipate, he'd have a chance to be the lucky dog. But right now, he is running out of time, and it looks like he's going to have another sub-30 place finish.
Carl Edwards is now the 11th car, 1 lap down. He's in 33rd place. No way he gets that free pass with this few laps remaining. So it could be a 3rd straight finish in the 30s for the championship leader Carl Edwards. And remember, those owner points, this 60 team only led Richard Childress' 29 car by 41 starting the day. Jeff Burton, driving that car today, is running in 6th place right now. Lap sorted out, Doc.
Carl Edwards trying to hang on and not get another 30th place finish. This is the guy they're all chasing. Denny Hamlin, 32 laps to go. He pulls right up behind the 41 car of Reed Sorensen, who goes high. And there's the differential between the 20 car and the 17 of Kenseth is 1.9 seconds back. You know, good race car drivers are also smart race car drivers. A moment ago, Matt Kenseth understood that it's important to know when and how to use your car late in the race. Let's listen in.
Still too tight through. The track has changed quite a bit, honestly. I need to free up some more, forget the pit. I might be able to run them down, but I'm just going to burn the tires off and get there, so I doubt if I can do anything with them. I'll do the best I can.
10-4, you're beating 3/10 a lap so far.
For more on crew chatter, log on to ESPN.com, search word communications. And that's a bit of an insight into the kind of race car driver Matt Kenseth really is.
Is that the ultimate cool guy or what? He's out there running along and he just stays so calm. Well, the car's running pretty good. I think I'll just hang out right here, hang out behind him, because that's all I can do. Then the crew chief comes back and says, you're out running him 3/10 a lap.
I think that's what makes a special race car driver. These guys that can actually think and drive at the same time. Matt Kenseth's one of those guys. He's actually sitting there calculating that, hey, it's not going to do me any good to try to just burn the tires off this thing and try to run him down. He's about a half a straightaway out there. We'll just wait and see how this thing develops. If I've got a good car, I'll be there by the time, you know, the race runs out, and I'll have something for him.
Here's a guy that's been quiet all day long, Jerry. Kevin Harvick. He's sitting there running 3rd right now. Good handling car. And he's really had the fastest car in the racetrack the last couple laps. So Kevin's lost his track position out there, Andy, but he's still got a fast car.
Never count Kevin Harvick out. As long as he's out there on the lead lap, you never count him out.
Greg Biffle back in the 4th position. He is being shown just over 9 seconds behind Denny Hamlin. There's the car 16 of Biffle, a 2-time Cup winner here, but he's never won in a Busch car at Michigan.
And Mark Martin in the 5 car, he's another guy sitting there in 5th position. Kind of matches his car number, huh? But his car has been strong throughout the day. And the little history on this car, they told me last time they raced this car was in Las Vegas, and they tore the back of the car off, the front of the car off, and they put it back together for Mark, and they feel like they got a good car for him, but he's currently 5th right now. And he's been running the top 5 almost all day long with that car.
2 seconds behind the 5 car, Mark Martin, is the 29 car, which a lot of people, myself included, thought would be one of the cars to beat here today. And that is Jeff Burton, and he has hovered between 5th and 9th most of the afternoon. He is in 6th right now.
I tried to talk to his crew chief before the race started to see if they were really good in the practice session with the sun out. And I think with this cloud cover, it's really kind of changed their setup. And we saw them make a change on pit road a while ago on their last pit stop, but evidently it's not helped them enough. They may need to get another caution and adjust on it some more.
Another fellow running real good is Paul Menard. Paul's been working the top side of the racetrack a lot. A lot of momentum. He's currently in 7th place. Been solid all day long. He's been working with his team on adjustments, and they've got this thing pretty close. But Andy, I want to add one thing you said. This temperature out there, this overcast, is really threw these teams for a loop. I mean, this race has run green all day long, basically, with just a caution or two, and it's really spread the field out right now. But it's been a long time since I've seen the overcast in this track as much as they've got it right now.
The 03 of Todd Bodine making his 2nd start of the year in this car, 3rd start in the NASCAR Busch Series, having a pretty good run, Dave.
Yeah, the first run wasn't bad either, Jerry, for Todd Bodine at Gateway earlier this year. Talked to them this morning about this whole development for their Busch Series ride. They want to run next year, Todd Bodine in the Busch Series. They want to stay in the Truck Series where they are right now, but they're just getting their feet wet with the Busch Series at Germain Racing. In fact, this is their only car, and I said, literally, your only Busch Series car right now. Yep, we got a couple in the shop we're building, but if Todd has any dings on this one, we'll have to repair him because this is it. And so far, he's driving it well today.
Yeah, they're wanting to run 6 more days the remainder of the year. Richmond, Kansas City, Charlotte, Texas, Phoenix, and Homestead, and then maybe, as you said, look toward 2008. And speaking of looking toward, look at the top of the racetrack. That 10 car of Brian Vickers on the move again.
And Brian Vickers has been fighting this track position all day long because of this fueling problem. And we see him, he's working on Todd Bodine. He's in the top 10. And kind of wondering what his situation is down there, Shannon.
Now, Brian Vickers, 2003 Series champion, certainly knows how to get it done in the Busch Series. Right now, he's telling his crew chief that the car's fast, but he's going to wait to run these guys down. He said, I'll just wait for a caution until they burn their stuff up, and then I'll get them. And, guys, he can make it all the way, according to crew chief Trent Owens.
Yeah, that's good information. We weren't sure that they got all the fuel in on that last stop because it looked like they were still having some problems.
Battle for 10th position. Brad Keselowski trying to get back-to-back top 10 finishes in the 88 car for Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s race team in the Navy. And behind him, the 24 car in 11th spot, the veteran Casey Mears.
Dale Jr.'s got to be loving this performance right now to Brad. I mean, sitting up there, the top 10, running great all day long. The car's handled good throughout the race, guys. And I just got to believe that the influence of Tony Yu, your senior, has got something to do with that. He's brought some real stability to Dale Jr.'s team. Seems to be helping a lot.
We call him Pops. He's been around a long time. He worked at DEI for years and years. Worked with Dale Sr. when he had his Busch team before he actually formed the DEI we know today. But he's definitely probably added a lot of presence there at that race team. Dave? I'm sorry, Mike.
Well, Andy, you're gauging fuel here up and down pit road and trying to get a sense for who can go the distance and who cannot. Well, Brad Keselowski very, very close. They're coaching him over the radio right now, trying to tell him to save fuel. He's running inside the top 10 and really looking for another good run. He's coming off his best career finish back at ORP, which was 10th, and he thinks he can top it here, providing he can go the distance.
This 88 car was one of the first cars to pit under that cycle of green flag run or green flag stop. So he has to go about 52 laps, which is more than anybody. Maybe he can make it. It's not undoable. They should be able to maybe make that.
Well, you know, our pit winner was 48 to 52 laps, and most everybody hit pit road around 48. So, Andy, you're dead right. I mean, these guys should be fine on the fuel, but they hit pit road just about the right time. And, you know, the caution flag wasn't going to work. They all had to hit pit road under green.
21 laps to go here at Michigan International Speedway, and 26-year-old Denny Hamlin trying to duplicate his best finish of the year, which is a win earlier at Darlington Raceway, trying to get his second Busch win in 2007. One of the favorite events this time of year is the Woodward Dream Cruise. You get to go down and watch some of the vintage cars go by and enjoy some great memories. There's some great street rods here just outside the Irish Hills of Michigan. From street rods to NASCARs, high-performance stock cars, this area has it all here in August at Michigan International Speedway. Coverage from high atop MIS, courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for the past 25 years. And one guy who's on a dream cruise right now is Denny Hamlin, the 26-year-old driver trying to get his second win of the year in the 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing.
He has worked every single line of the racetrack out there, guys. He's been on the bottom, the middle, the top, and I believe he's finally figured out where his car is very fastest on the racetrack. And he has worked that top side perfectly throughout the day, and he's dead on top of that track again now, building a lot of momentum. And he's finally figured out where his car is the quickest on the track.
Let's show you the choices where Kenseth and the 20 car have been able to make these passes work here on this wide racetrack.
You take a look at Matt Kenseth. He's using that dirty air again, trying to get that draft. And he's went to the bottom of the racetrack, getting into clean air. It's worked for him a little bit throughout the race. Let's take a look at the 20 car, Denny Hamlin. Now he's in the front. He's got the clean air. He is about to get in the corner now. You see him work the top side of Matt Kenseth, on the top side. And every single time he gets to the top of the racetrack, his car performs better up there. You see all that momentum. He's like a rocket going around outside of the 17 of Matt Kenseth. And guys, throughout the day, that's been his best groove. He tried to bottom a little bit. He's went to the top. He's toyed with it throughout the day. And now he's went to the top and stuck there. And his lap times have been incredible. He's just been running away from Matt Kenseth lap after lap by doing that.
The differential now is 4.2 seconds. That's between first, that's Hamlin, as you mentioned, Rusty, and Matt Kenseth. And Andy, it all started with that 2.5 seconds they lost on pit road with a lug nut on the right front tire.
You couldn't hardly get these cars apart. They were just like glued together until they made that pit stop. We saw Matt, he made a really good move down on pit road to pass Denny to get down to the pit road, but then they had that little problem. And it was just, like you say, it wasn't a big deal, but just a little hiccup in the pits and cost some distance on the racetrack.
Andy, you know, they were in the draft pretty well much of the race and staying bumper to bumper. In the draft, that dirty air really kept them bumper to bumper. One guy would outrun each other in the corners and back and forth. But once they got separated because that right front lug nut problem, they couldn't use that draft to catch back up. And now each one of them is a single car out here by himself. And they have to fend herself off now with no drafting help.
And now they're all having to work all this lap traffic. Like you said, they could use that vacuum of that dirty air behind that car when they were racing each other, but now they don't have that. They don't have that to work with.
Battle for 11th position. Brad Keselowski trying to duplicate his top 10 finish at O'Reilly Raceway Park. Last time he was in the 88 car, trying to hold off one of the better veterans, one of the Nextel Cup veterans, the 2 car of Clint Boyer.
It's another Childress car that's been strong this year and won some races.
Guys, there's only 15 cars in lead lap right now. Denny Hamlin is just running a blistering pace, and so is Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick. Those guys have been running fastest throughout the day, but on a green flag, well, this is only a 125-lap race, guys. Tune in for tomorrow when it's a lot longer. And there's only 15 in the lead lap right now, Jerry. That's what happens when you don't get any cautions. You got one guy that's better than the rest.
And we talked about it from the beginning of the show, how this was a green flag type racetrack where you get a lot of runs like this. These guys are proving it right here.
Good day for the Roush Fenway cars here in Michigan. Of course, Jack Roush's headquarters not far away, and of course the manufacturer is not far away, Ford Motor Company. You have a call to this car. Talking about Fords and Jack Roush, Jamie McMurray.
Jamie McMurray's up to 13th place right now. He started dead last. He had a problem and worked himself from the back of the pack clear to the front. And Roush's Busch cars are absolutely, without a doubt, great cars. You see Kenseth up in the front running second right now. Jamie charging up there. He's currently in 13th, but he's running speeds quick enough to have a better finish than that when it's all said and done.
This is a good race right here between the 88 car of Brad Keselowski and this 2 car, Clint Boyer. Boy, they are really going at it right here.
You know, Brad can hang on the top of the racetrack, Andy. These Busch Grand National motors get so much more momentum working that top side of the track. Take a look at Todd Bodine on the bottom. Ooh, right in the side of Menard there.
We heard earlier maybe that the 15 car Paul Menard had broken a header, and that's one of the pipes that goes right to the engine. That can hurt the power, so it makes the motor really sound weird to the driver, but it does hurt the power some.
Now, you're talking probably about 10, 15 horsepower you're going to lose with the broken exhaust pipe, a header they call it. But he's on the top of the track now, keeping that thing wound up because he can drive in the corner deeper now because he doesn't have as much horsepower. So instead of carrying close to 200 miles per hour, he's probably carrying about 190, but he's staying in the throttle longer. And as you can see, that last lap, that worked for him by working to the top of the track.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell him. I'm going to say it's 9 laps to go. I'm going to say just make up for it. Drive it harder.
Drive it hard. Dave, you got more?
Well, here's part of the issue for Todd right now, Rusty. He thinks he may have worn out that right front tire. Now, would that slow you down a little bit from pushing it too hard at the end?
Well, I'd say it slowed me down a lot because right here in Michigan, Dave, you want a lot of grip. And he's working the bottom of the racetrack like he's trying to get some more grip. If he's got a tire that's worn out on the right front, you don't want to use the top because if you start sliding, there's no more room to slide. The next thing that's going to happen, you're going to hit the wall. So Todd's been working the bottom. Menard's working the top because of that horsepower loss. So these two are really battling out right now with 8 laps to go.
And this is the only car we heard that Todd Bodine has in this team, so they don't want to tear it up. They've got a good top 10 spot here. They don't need to really make a mistake here and tear this car up.
Todd Bodine has a great history at this racetrack. He won the very first NASCAR Busch Series race run here in 1992 when Jeff Gordon sat on the pole, so he had to outrun Gordon in 2 others that day. So he understands this racetrack, but is trying to get it done here in the final 8 laps.
Looking at the speeds on the board, this 29 car right now is running the fastest laps. The only problem is he's got a lot of distance between him and Denny Hamlin up in the lead. But he is running 6, and his car is the best it's been all day.
You know, if he come in with a goal. His goal is to win the race, obviously, Jerry, but his second goal is to get in the lead in that owner's point standings. And from what's looking right now, it looks like he's going to pass Carl Edwards today and move into the lead for Richard Childress Racing in his owner's point standings.
And Carl Edwards just moved into the top 30. He's 29th on the racetrack. And just 7 laps to go. Not likely he's going to gain many more spots. So this is probably going to be a swing in the Owners' Championship.
Again, there's a driver's points title in which Carl Edwards holds a fairly commanding lead. Then there's an Owners' Championship, and it was a 41-point differential between Roush Fenway for Edwards and Childress for the 29 car. And apparently, if the finish holds right now, the 29 car gets a top 6 finish, that will change, and the RCR guys will go atop the Owners' standings.
You guys, right now, Mark Martin in the 5 car. He's got that car driving really good, handling well, but he's just too far back from the leaders right now to get the job done. Looks like he might be able to get the 16 car of Biffle.
That's what I was going to say. It's not too late to get this next spot. And you know Mark Martin, he is going to race for every single spot till the checkered flag falls. He is still looking. He's just looking at the back bumper of the 16, trying to get him.
Well, he ended that last lap. Greg Biffle ran a 41.46, and Mark Martin ran a 41.27. So he's picking him up 2/10 a lap. It was 6 to go. He's got enough time to catch him.
Yeah, these are former teammates that really like to race hard. Both of them race extremely hard. And we're talking about Mark Martin. I can't remember ever seeing Mark Martin really out of the top 5 in a Busch race.
7 top 5 finishes for Mark Martin in 9 starts here. He is always in the top 5 at Michigan, and twice he's won this race.
Here he goes. He's looking at that back bumper of that 16. He's wanting to get this spot.
Now I want to take a look at him as he comes down the back straightaway like we're watching now, getting into turn 3, because that's a big momentum corner. And if Mark's going to make the pass, if he can make that thing stick in the bottom, he can probably clear him up off of turn 4 if he gets enough run on him. Now Biffle goes down and sees this move and blocks him off. And he takes his aerodynamics away from him, so Mark's car starts losing the front end.
Yeah, you see him almost catch the wall right there. Just like you said, Rusty, he got into that slipstream of that 16, lost that downforce, and that car just slid all the way up the racetrack, almost tagged the wall.
A lot of times the spotters will do a good job telling you what he's doing out there, where he's what he's doing, if he's going high or low. Now the driver can actually see that, but these spotters are talking back to the crew chiefs. Dave?
About 10 laps ago, Mark asked if he was good on fuel. The radio communication back was, "You are fine." Mark said, "All right, I'll go get him." And he's made up about 25 car lengths on Greg Biffle.
Well, he's caught him, but he's just not able to get quite past him or even beside of him. It's one thing to catch him. It's another thing to pass Greg Biffle. Mark Martin's got 3 laps to get it done.
Mark got down that clean air on the bottom side of the racetrack, Jerry. 27 slow. Ward Burton looks like he's going to make it back.
Might have been a fuel situation. They were rolling the dice as well. Back to this battle here between the 16 and the 5 car for 4th place.
Now, a lot of people might wonder, why do they try to make the pass on the bottom? They can't get it done like he's getting it done now.
Looks like Greg Biffle in 16 car had to get out of the throttle just a little bit off of turn 2. And that may be just what Mark Martin needs.
The 29 car, you see him coming into your screen right side. That is Jeff Burton. Whoa, 16 on the outside, hangs on to the race car. 2 laps to go. These cars running 5th, 6th, and 7th.
That's exactly what Jeff Burton wanted to see happen. Those guys got side by side. Let him catch back up on him right now. But Mark Martin now, he's got that clean air, guys. He's going to drive away from that 16 car, and Mark's in 4th right now.
But Andy, Jeff Burton is coming in a hurry. He only has a couple laps, but that 29 car is a rocket.
He's had a fast car these last 10 or 15 laps, but he hadn't. It's just too much distance between him and this 20 car and Denny Hamlin. He's taking the white flag.
1 to go right now. Denny Hamlin's outrun the field by 2/10 a lap that last one, and he has clearly had the best car throughout the day, guys. He's worked the top side, he's worked the bottom side, and Jerry, this guy has got it going on right now.
It's run out of gas, sir.
This 5 car may be out of fuel.
They ran it too close. Mark Martin in the 5 car got all the way to the 4th spot, and with 1 lap to go, a half a lap to go, they're out of fuel. Here comes Burton trying to take the spot away from his former teammate, Greg Biffle. That is the 4th position. The leader, the car number 20, Denny Hamlin, takes the checkered flag, his 2nd win in 2007.
Here comes Jeff Burton. He's going to clear Greg Biffle off turn 4.
Away, man, away, bring it home.
Let's talk about driving it hard now. Jeff gave it everything he had. He picked up another position, and he's thinking about those point standings, and boy, he did a great job today passing Carl Edwards and bringing that in the front. And what about Brian Vickers' 6th place from dead last, guys?
Toyotas are 6 and 8 with Vickers and Bodine. There's the guy, Denny Hamlin. Great effort for Hamlin, who led 4 times for 69 laps. It'll be the 3rd time this year he's gone to victory lane, but only the 2nd time he'll get credit for. Remember, he drove for Eric Almirola, at Milwaukee. Let's check in where Dave is caught up with their crew chief.
That's right, and Denny was also the Darlington winner. Dave Rogers coming down off the pit box right now. And Dave, he said what coming to the checkered flag?
My good friend Denny told me we're running out of gas coming to the checkered flag.
And then he said,
just kidding.
Yeah. Way to put you on the hot seat and make you nervous on that, huh?
Yeah, I owe him a beating right now. Hey, I'm real proud of all the guys in the Fab Shop. This is a brand new body they built for us. Man, it's awesome. So everyone, Fab Shop, Reggie, Dewey, all you guys, thank you very much. Rockwell Automation, thank you. Awesome race car.
All right, he's going to be busy for about 30 minutes over in Victory Lane, so go give him what he deserves.
All right, thank you, guys.
Dave Rogers, winning crew chief today, Jerry.
Great effort, and Denny Hamlin celebrating brand new body, and boy, was this car slick here at 190 miles an hour at Michigan. Listen to this crowd.
I'm listening to that engine, man. He's still got plenty of fuel left in that tank.
And Jerry, he left just about 10 pounds of rubber laying on the front straightaway with that burnout. That was one cool burnout.
Well, the Carfax 250 is history at Michigan International Speedway, and Denny Hamlin has won for the 2nd time in 2007. Victory Lane ceremony is about to begin here at Michigan International Speedway. Dominating performance by Denny Hamlin, the 26-year-old who led 4 times for 69 laps and picks up win number 2 here in 2007. Let's go down to Victory Lane and Jamie Little.
And it's a Busch beer shower, and then Denny climbs from his car, and it's a Coke shower. So, Denny, tell me at that finish line, right before you hit it, we heard you come over the radio and play a little joke on Dave Rogers, your crew chief. What'd you say?
I was out of gas, and that made him jump on the wall, I'm sure. So, no, we ran out of Indy, and it wasn't so funny, but this one was, I figured I could coast anyway if I did run out. I didn't want to jinx myself and say it too soon, so man, I got to give congrats to Dave Rogers on preparing this race car. He did such a great job, and man, I just got to thank everyone at Rockwell Automation, Chevrolet, Spectrum, Joe Gibbs Racing, Coca-Cola, Wiley X, everyone that helped support this program, and couldn't be prouder to drive for these guys.
This is your 2nd official win this season, but Denny, yesterday in practice you went out, you pancaked it in the wall, the guys went to work, they repaired the car, and I think I heard some of them saying, I think Denny needs to do that more often because I think our car was faster. Do you think that was the case?
I tell you, but you know, I definitely didn't want to give these guys any more work than what they had to. But man, I can't say enough for those guys to put this car back in one piece the way it was, and even better than what it started. So everyone at the Fab Shop doing a good job. Wow, it's just incredible. We finally got a 1.5 mile, 2 mile win.
All right, nobody called Denny Hamlin as the winner, guys. He was the dark horse, and he came out victorious. Shannon?
Well, Jamie, I'm here with Matt Kenseth, second place finish. You looked like you had a fast car at the start of the race. Back and forth with Denny Hamlin. What happened to the car at the end?
Well, I had a lot of fun racing with Denny today. Even through the middle section of the race before our green flag pit stops there, we were about the same. You know, I could pass him, get in front for a while, and then he'd pass me back. And we just got a little too tight with overcast. The track seemed to change a fair amount, and we didn't quite make the changes we needed there. So we had a good car. I would have liked to have had the chance to battle him there at the end. We just got too far behind in that green flag pit stop and couldn't make it up.
Anything you learned from today's race that you could possibly use tomorrow in the Cup race?
Well, the track conditions are a lot different than yesterday, so if anything, learned a little bit about that, maybe some of our tire pressure adjustments, how it affected or didn't affect the car. So those are probably the biggest things we learned.
All right, well, Matt Kenseth has one more shot tomorrow to get Jack Roush that win. Mike.
Well, Shannon, Kevin Harvick's winning streak has come to an end, but still a finish to be proud of. Third, how would you assess the day?
It was interesting. Our car was really loose, and as we got better through the day, we didn't really make it better at the beginning of the run, but we got better through the middle part of the run and towards the end of the run. So all in all, everybody from our AutoZone Chevrolet did a great job, and it's been quite a ride these last 6-8 weeks. I don't even know how many it's been, but it's been a lot of fun winning races, and just being able to be competitive is fun to be a part of.
And not just for you, but for RCR as a whole. I know, Carl Edwards is getting away with his championship from a driver's standpoint, but the owner's title still very much up for grabs. And RCR, your teammate, the 29 car, it looks like they may have taken the owner's point lead today.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty awesome, dude, to see as much ground as everybody's been able to make up at the 21 and the 2. I don't think the 21's far behind, but to put the pressure on that 60 car is going to be fun to watch to the end.
Well, Shannon, another strong effort for Kevin Harvick, and it was real close. They ran out of fuel on that final lap.
Well, Greg Biffle said the car was just okay all day. What was the race like out there for you guys today?
You know, it was a pretty uneventful race. The 3M Ford Fusion car ran really good. You know, we qualified on the pole, ended up 5th. Not what we were looking for, but you know, after we learned a lot today, I think, adjusted some tire pressures, and I got too loose at the start and then too tight at the end, and we couldn't get that balance worked out where I could run fast at the beginning of the run and then keep some speed at the end. And unfortunately, right at the end there, we lost 3rd place, lost a couple spots, but overall it was a good day.
Anything that you can take from tonight's race, possibly into the Cup race tomorrow?
I think tire pressure, we learned a little bit about that, and that's really about it. The cars are pretty similar, actually. This car and that car, and I'm a little worried about that because this car was a little bit tighter than I wanted it to be, and the guys were beating me back to the gas both ends, and they beat me about a 10th a lap, but we'll see what we can do with tomorrow's car.
All right, another Roush Racing driver looking to get a victory for Jack Roush here in his hometown of Michigan.
Thank you, Shannon. Denny Hamlin joked on the last lap with his crew chief about possibly running out of gas. He was just playing a joke, well, because he had plenty of gas, but our crowning moment was a driver who did indeed run out of fuel, but he would not give up. He was coasting and coasting. Here comes...
Brad, I think they're all cheering for you.
Brad Keselowski, and they just kept waving the flag. Kevin Moss waves the checker flag, and Brad does indeed finish 13th. Jamie?
And Brad Keselowski down here, we tracked him down. He was laughing. How about that ovation? Everybody on their feet screaming for the local boy, Brad.
Pretty cool. Just to come to Michigan, get to race with my hometown family and friends here, and just having a great time with that, and came really close to get us another top 10, if not a little better than that. And just really proud of everyone on the Navy car, and hopefully we'll get some more strong runs like this.
You were top 8 there for a while. Did you know you were that close on fuel at that moment?
Yeah, they were telling at me, save gas as much as you can, and I was doing everything I could. Gave up a couple spots trying to do it. It just ran out coming across for the white. Glad we made it back. That's cool. Just really proud of everyone on the team.
Big day for the Keselowski family. Your brother made the race. Your dad was crew chiefing for him. So what's next for you, Brad? How long are we going to see in this 88 ride?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. It looks like for the rest of the year, but we're still working on all that, and just glad to be a part of it and looking for more strong runs like this. And if the race would have felt a little differently, I think we might have had a shot at top 5, but really happy for everyone on the team, and glad to be representing the Navy.
Great run today for Brad Keselowski, obviously, guys, the local favorite.
Great effort to finish for the 3rd generation Keselowski. Denny Hamlin picks up his 4th career win, his 2nd of 2007. He spanked them on the racetrack, and then when it was over, he lit them up at the start-finish line. More coverage from Michigan in just a moment. Behind-the-scenes look at NASCAR Nextel Cup Racing, the world's greatest motorsports series. Victory Lane celebration ongoing with Denny Hamlin. As we take a look at our power performance pass of the race, the 29 car of Jeff Burton trying to pedal his way by the 16 of Greg Biffle for a 4th place finish.
That's one of the moves of the day. Jeff Burton was just steady throughout the day, guys, just gaining those points. Let's take a look at these owners' points, because that was one of the big things that he was going for all day long.
Rusty, you talked about the fact that at the beginning of the day, there's a 41-point advantage for Roush Fenway, and guess what? The 29 car in Richard Childress has assumed the top spot in the owners' points, and Roush is now 40 back in 2nd place. Let's go down to Mike.
And, Doc, it's been a team effort between Jeff Burton and Scott Wimmer, but how much pride do you take in knowing you've helped RCR move to the top of the championship standings?
Well, certainly Scott has much to do with it as I do. Scott's done a great job for us, and you know, there's a long way to go just yet. We're having a lot of fun with it. With, you know, all the pressure's on the 60 car. They got such a big lead in the driver thing that, you know, nobody expected us to be in it. We're just having fun, and Richard wants us to win in the worst way, and we want to win in the worst way, but we're not gonna get all wound up about it. We're just going out and having fun and trying to win races.
Speaking of getting wound up, my producers are a little upset. We had you as the in-race reporter today, but we didn't get to use you, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me the analysis of how this thing broke down today.
Well, I got nervous. I heard Petrie talking about calling a race for us today, and I went, I don't know that that's going to work very well for us. And I was okay with Rusty giving me some driving advice, but I was pretty flipped out about Petrie giving us crew chiefing advice. I wasn't thinking that was going to work.
I know your teammate Kevin Harvick was a little close on fuel. How concerned were you?
I didn't know it was an issue at all. I'm on a need-to-know basis. I didn't need to know, so they didn't tell me. And you know, there's not. Other than slow down, there's nothing we could do about it, and you know, they must not have felt like it was a concern, or they would have told me. But I'd rather not know. If I'd rather run out of gas like Mark did. He ran out of gas, but he would have worried the whole last run if somebody would have told him. So at the end of the day, you're better off not knowing, unless they think you can save, and that would you know, that would make it so you could make the whole way. But we weren't in that condition, I guess.
Well, I guess in some situations, ignorance is bliss. Shannon?
Yeah, well, I'm here with Jeff Burton's boss. We were just watching Jeff Burton do his interview. Now, I know there's a lot of racing left. You currently have the Owners' Championship in this Busch Series. What would it mean to take that championship with you guys out of this season?
It'd be great. You know, I'm really proud of all the guys on the 29 Holiday Inn team with Jeff and Scott Wimmer. Scott's done a great job for us. And like you say, it's a lot of racing. And Carl and Jack, you got a lot of respect for those guys. They're having a great year. And but hopefully we can put a little race on for the championship there.
Now, you knew you guys were not going to be able to get the driver's point championship this year, but at what point did you start focusing on getting that owner's championship?
Well, I mean, that was our goal to start the year out, was to, with both cars, to try to go after the owner's championship, and Jeff and Scott's just doing a great job. And you always set your goals, and that's one of the goals we set early in the year.
Now, Richard, you have so many trophies at home right now. Where will this one go?
Right next with the last one, I hope. No, it's just special, you know. We just love doing what we do, and it's a lot of fun.
All right, thanks a lot, Richard Childress. Doc?
They won the driver and owner's title a year ago. Kevin Harvick winning a driver's title. He got the owner's championship. Also got it back in 2003 and 2001. Now, Carl Edwards didn't have the kind of day he wanted to have. He ended up coming home with a 28th place finish. He still is atop the driver's points, but he also understands that he lost right now the lead in the owner's points. So let's check in where Dave is caught up with him.
Carl Edwards came home 28th today. Contact on the racetrack, Carl, kind of ruined your day.
Yeah, first, congratulations to Denny Hamlin. Those guys did a great job. And all my guys at the Sharp Aquos Fusion did well. And I don't know exactly what, whatever his name is, drives 41. I don't remember whatever he was thinking there. I guess there's a reason he runs like he does. I mean, that's just unbelievable. But, oh well, you know, we'll move on. We got a great team. We're going to Bristol. That'll be a lot of fun. And, you know, hopefully he'll be man enough to come over and have a chat with me face-to-face about it.
Carl, the owner's points have been a discussion point. Are you guys feeling that pressure now as a 29 move close to you guys today?
Oh, yeah, we're feeling the pressure. I mean, it's a battle, you know, and it's going to make it exciting for the fans. It's just, you know, those guys are doing a great job. Jeff Burton did a great job today, and it's going to be fun battling him. And I guess that's the only good thing that comes out of this, is a good points battle for the Owners' Championship. But just a very frustrating day, and like I said, hopefully we can work it out.
Okay, thanks, Carl.
Thank you.
Carl Edwards still comfortably atop the NASCAR Busch Series point standings, but Kevin Harvick, despite only running 18 events now, has moved up in the second position. He has been just that good. 5 wins this year, 4 wins in his last 6 starts, and Kevin Harvick a third-place finish here today. David Rudiman involved in an incident, a shunt early on, loses a spot back in third overall in the standings. And Rusty Wallace, I'm curious, to comment a moment ago, Carl Edwards very frustrated about what happened with Reed Sorensen. As a driver, what do? Do you go seek out Reed Sorensen privately, quietly, just the two of you to settle it yourself? How do you handle things like that?
Well, no, they'll talk to each other, but I think if you go to Reed Sorensen, he's going to say, hey, he come flying from the back of the track up in front of me, and I had a lot of momentum. I couldn't slow down. And I think if they both go back to the replay and look at what happened in that corner, they might see a different point of view. I mean, I can understand Carl Edwards being in front of him and thinks he just gets taken out by hitting in the back. But I think if he looks at the replay, like you said, it might be a different story.
Well, he could handle it the way I'm going to handle Jeff Burton when I find him. I heard him talking about me down there in that garage area. I'm going to have a few words with him, so you might be able to handle it the same way.
Oh, I don't know.
I won't get fined, will I?
No, you won't get fined. And I don't think he was roughing you up. I think he loves the way you call a race.
Friends. I'm just aggravated.
All right, Todd Bodine had a good run today. He finished in 8th spot. Jamie?
That's right. That's the second race for Germain Racing this season and 2 top 10s. So how you guys doing it coming out here and just shutting the door in the top 10?
We got a good team, and I got a lot of confidence in Mike Hillman Sr. and Mike Jr. They do a great job, and we're gaining on it. It's been a long time since we ran a car, and we've done some testing, but not as much as we need to. And so we're gaining on it. Every week we go, we're learning more about the cars and what they need, because it's a lot different than what we're used to. What we did a long time ago, 3 years ago, is a lot different than right now. So we're gaining on it. We got it. Had a good run today. Our Camry was a little tight to begin with. We over-adjusted, got a little loose. Over-adjusted back, got a little tight. So at the end it was a little too tight, but it was a good run. To come back 8th, our Germain team did a great job.
So Todd, you've accomplished, the biggest feat of all. You've won the championship in the Truck Series. I'm hearing a little rumor we might be seeing you over here full-time in 08. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, there's truth to it. We want to run full-time Busch. It depends a lot on dollars. You got to have sponsorship to do it. The Germain race team, the Germain brothers are great people. They want to grow the business, and the next place to grow to is the Busch Series, and so we're going to give it a shot.
And the way to get those bucks is to get finishes like that, Doc.
A very strong team. Todd Bodine, already a 15-time winner in the NASCAR Busch Series. He's the reigning NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion. He will run 6 more times in the Busch Series and hopes to run the full 2008 season as a NASCAR Busch regular. Tomorrow, the Nextel Cup Series takes center stage here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Carl Edwards ended his Nextel Cup victory drought winning here in June. It was his first Cup win since Texas in November of 2005. Matt Kenseth won the Michigan race last August, but he suffered his worst finish of the year back a couple of months ago, winding up 42nd after crashing out. Our Nextel Cup coverage of Michigan begins at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN and ESPN HD. Great NASCAR Busch Series action today, and what an impressive performance by Denny Hamlin, who had a very good car, but he and Kenseth were just about even for much of probably 2/3 of this race.
They did. They had a big battle going on right till they made their last pit stop under green, and they even battled all the way down to pit road, the entrance of pit road, and they had a little problem in the pits with the 17, which cost him just a little bit of time, but then it looked like Matt Kenseth's car just wasn't quite as good as Denny Hamlin's, and Denny just drove away.
Denny Hamlin's car seemed to get stronger and stronger those final 25 laps as he began to pull away. I mean, how it happens to a car when suddenly you just start gaining strength in the final laps of an event like here at Michigan?
Jerry, he just kept working the top groove of that racetrack. He worked all around the racetrack to find the right place his car needed to run at. He tried the bottom, wasn't quick enough. Tried the middle, wasn't quick enough. He ended up on the top of the racetrack, then he stuck with his plan, and he just drove off then.
One driver who dodged a couple of bullets today, Tony Stewart, standing by with Shannon Spake.
That's right. Tough day for Tony Stewart out there. Talk about your race. What happened out there?
We don't know what happened. That's the thing. We're going to have to wait till we get the car back to the shop to find out. But we put the track bar down 4 rounds, put 2 rounds of wedge out of the car, 3 pounds out of the right rear, or 4 pounds out of the right rear. 4 pounds in the right front, 3 pounds out of the right rear, 3 pounds in the left rear, and 1.5 pounds out of the left front. So that's a lot of stuff. That should have made it not turn at all compared to yesterday. So something happened. We just don't know what happened to the Old Spice car, but it's pretty disappointing considering we were really good yesterday. I mean, we were running really good speeds and times and really consistent. So I don't think any of us would have had any inclination this was going to happen today. So we don't know what happened to it. We're just going to have to get it back to the shop. Kevin Harvick can find out.
Well, you're certainly on a roll in the Cup Series. How do you feel about the race tomorrow?
It's got to be better than today, unless we crash. So I don't know. I'm excited about tomorrow, but just frustrated about today. I mean, it's one thing when you know what the problem is, but it's another thing when you don't know what it is. And I mean, all of our guys on our Old Spice car down there are scratching their heads going, what happened? And none of us know. I mean, the things that we did on the pit stops to try to get the car tightened up to where you could even drive it were so large that it shouldn't even have turned, let alone still been loose at the end of the day. So we're just going to have to wait and see what they find at the shop.
All right, good luck to you tomorrow. Mike?
And a little bit more disappointment on the other side of the KHI camp, and that's with Bobby Labonte. Had a promising day going there until you suffered some damage on the left front fender. What happened?
Yeah, we got into it with Todd Bodine there and kind of eased us up into the wall. Had to make a green flag pit stop. The guys did a great job coming back. We got too loose on that restart, and obviously we didn't really have time to fix it. Tighten it up. We tightened it up a little bit on that last run, and we came back to 18th. So really, we had a fast race car there at the end. We're following Kevin there to the start-finish line on the last few laps, and had some fast lap times all day long, actually, except for that span that we were a little too loose, and obviously we got damaged too. So they'll fix it up, and we'll go race.
Over the years, you've described this racetrack as one of the favorite places to go for you. Based upon what you saw today, what you learned about the racetrack, what are you taking to Sunday?
I can't wait. I believe it's going to be a good day for us. Our Cheerios Betty Crocker Dodge has been pretty good all weekend. We qualified fourth, and wasn't quite as good today in a little bit of the sun, but I don't think it's going to have a sun tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be good in the clouds.
And you can expect that Bobby Labonte will be among the favorites. He's a multi-time winner here in Michigan, and somebody to watch on Sunday afternoon. Dave?
Brian Vickers brought that number 10 Toyota home 6 today in your second ride with them. Not a bad deal.
No, not a bad deal. We beat ourselves on that one. We had that race. Had such a fast car there at the start, and on the pit stop, we lost a couple spots in the pits, and then we had to come back in. We didn't get the car about half full. Then they were having a problem with the overflow tube. They weren't getting the pin pushed in, and it cost us a race because we were the fastest car from that point on the racetrack, and we just couldn't make it up. The race stayed green. If we could have got a caution, I think we could have had something for them.
And so you're telling me you probably passed more cars today than anybody else?
Oh, we definitely passed a lot of cars, especially on the green. But, it's a great opportunity that Braun gave me and FanFirst.com, Toyota, the Toyota package and the Busch Series. They definitely got a good package over here, and real proud of everybody. Unfortunately, we just, things happen, I guess. It's frustrating, but we beat ourselves on this one.
Today, Brian Vickers will be in that car the next 3 events in a row. Bristol, California, and Richmond. So he'll have more chances to get a win for the 10 car. Great run for Brian Vickers in a Toyota, but this is the guy that had them all covered today. Denny Hamlin still smiling. Back to Michigan in a moment.
The NASCAR Busch Series Carfax 250 at Michigan is brought to you by Carfax.com. By Allstate, the official insurance sponsor of NASCAR. And the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Denny Hamlin, the winner today. We have heard from 7 of the top 8 finishers. The remainder of that group is with Dave Burns.
Paul Menard came home 7th today. Paul, talk about racing here at Michigan in the Busch Series. You haven't done it much this year, but then today, the stacked field, just how tough it was out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. Michigan is one of the best racetracks there is. I mean, you can go top to bottom, and Busch cars are always fun because you don't lift a whole lot. I mean, you're pretty much wide open. We finished 7th. We had a top 5 car. I think we maybe over-adjusted the last pit stop. I wanted to come up on the track bar, try to free it up, and it was almost wrecking loose the last probably 20 laps into a run. Then it got pretty good the last 30 laps or so, but kind of gave up a top 5 there.
How hard is it to hold on to a loose race car here at this track?
It's hard, but I mean, it's all relative, I guess. It's how sideways you want to push it. You can always lift, but that was pretty loose right there. It was pretty sideways.
All right, he brought it home in one piece today. Paul Menard, a top 10 run.
Yeah, his 4th top 10 finish the last 5 NASCAR Busch Series races that he's run. Andy, not a win today for Paul Menard, but certainly a solid showing for him as he tries to gain some more experience for his next L Cup career.
Yeah, Paul's got a lot of talent, Alan, and I expect him to do some great things. He's starting to get his Cup deal together, and if he drives a car loose, if he says it's loose, it's loose.
Guys, 400 miles of Nextel Cup action here tomorrow. What can we expect to see?
Well, I think Tony Stewart's got a lot of momentum coming into this race, and even though he didn't run well today, I think they had a problem with that Busch car. They'll probably find it when they get home, but I still see him being very, very hard to beat tomorrow.
Guys, I tell you, the one I think you need to look at is Jimmy Johnson. You got Chad Knaus back right now. He's fast in practice here at Michigan for tomorrow's race. He's got a lot of momentum going now. And if you remember last year, he went through a lot of problems. In this part of the year, he took off, and now he's got Knaus back, and that's going to help him.
Chevrolet hasn't won here since 2001. The last time Chevrolet won here, Jeff Gordon was on the pole. And, folks, Jeff Gordon is on the pole here tomorrow. Watch for him to be a factor all day after the frustrating finish at Watkins Glen a week ago. Alan?
All right, Doc, that's tomorrow. And wrapping up today, a little while back, we started our NASCAR countdown with a couple storylines. The three-peat try for Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick came up a little bit short, but he had a good run today, finishing 3rd. But, yeah, he doesn't get to move on.